CFA. And the day two of the Festival of Arts here in Orange Walk sees high schoolers competing for a spot at the national level. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Thursday, May 18th, 2023.
Special guest in the audience tonight, legendary record executive, Mr. Clive Davis.
My voice is gone.
What?
You start the show tonight. No talking back. I'm your mother.
There's a boy I know. He's the one I dream of.
What's your name again?
Whitney Elizabeth Houston.
Wake up! It's on. It's on. Listen. How will I know if he really loves me?
My dream, sing what I want to sing, be how I want to be.
I say a prayer with every heartbeat.
Reach as big an audience as I can.
How will I know?
Common criticism of you, your music isn't black enough.
Look, I don't know how to sing black, and I don't know how to sing white either. I know how to sing.
I might have just heard the greatest voice of her generation.
Maybe.
Maybe. It's got to have a hook.
The hook?
Yeah.
I'll give it a hook.
And now, the hottest match of the evening. Get ready for action! Here they come. Amazing! They're unstoppable, unbeatable. They have them on the ropes. The heat rises to the top. 1, 2, and 3. They're on fire! Chiladas. Fire up the taste of Belize with the new Chiladas crunchy tortilla taco chips in its hot chili flavor. Fiery habanero brings the heat. They're on fire! Chiladas. From Snackers, done right, done here.
I wanted to show them something that wasn't an illusion. Something that was real. Something that they could see and touch.
Humans and dinosaurs can't coexist. We created an ecological disaster.
Ellie Sattler.
Alan Grant.
You didn't come out all this way just to catch up now, did you?
You coming or what?
That's another plane, right?
Not exactly.
Don't move.
evening with your news, also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. Imari Galvez, she is the 19-year-old Belmopan resident whose partially nude dead body was found on Tuesday evening some 40 miles off the Hummingbird Highway after she was last seen at home on Saturday night and reported missing by her parents on Monday when she never returned home. Imari, reports suggest, was shot to the head. The teen is believed to have slipped out of her house around 1 a.m. on Sunday with a person or persons known to her. As the Galvez family prepares to lay Imari to rest, they are demanding swift action from authorities to solve this latest murder case. And the police might be closer to solving this puzzle than one might think. Last night, at a football match here in Orange Walk between Progreso FC and Verdes, Galvez's boyfriend, Woodrow West, was detained by MIT officers in the middle of the match. He was escorted out of the field and left the Verdes team without their star goalkeeper. West, as we told you yesterday, was one of the last known persons outside Imari's immediate family to see her alive. Reports suggest he saw her Saturday night before she returned home and then later disappeared. Her mother, 39-year-old Johanna Galvez, told cops that West came to see her in a taxi on the night of Saturday, May 13th, and Imari left with him. Imari returned home walking shortly after with her phone charger in her hand, stating she was not going with West again because he had been drinking. She stated Imari went in her room and up to the time she went to bed at 12 a.m. the night Imari was still at home. While we understand that cops also have another person detained for questioning, someone who handed himself over to the cops, the family of the deceased are also carrying their own investigations, but at the same time working closely with police.
I believe that if you do your own investigation, you could compile it together with the police gather now and a joint effort always will work out better. You know, get top of the case quicker. That's why I decided to do it.
So you're working alongside the police, not?
Yeah, we work alongside with the police. Whatever information I get, I share with them and then they compare it with what they have.
While investigations can lead to unwanted and surprising findings, Galvez says the family is seeking closure and justice.
I have two detained. I believe one out of the two, that's why I hit the point for me, because according to my investigation, I got a finger point for somebody, but...
One of the detainees?
Yes. I don't want to reveal nothing because the police, they have to do all the confirmation before anything they reveal now, but I feel for a sense of ease right now that something that happened. I believe more than a two-person job. I believe that probably somebody pick her up and they transfer her to another vehicle. How it look like to me, I could be wrong, but this is the way I get right now.
So the family sense right now is that one of the detainees definitely had a hand in?
Yeah, I sense one of the detainees definitely have a hand, because one of them now were picking point from the start.
The untimely death of Imari Galvez, who was to celebrate her 20th birthday in less than 2 weeks, has invoked public outcry and a demand for justice. Today, one of her close friends spoke to the media and asked that no stone be left unturned in this case.
During the day, Imari contacted me asking me if we could please go swim because it's hot. And I tell her that I can't because I'm going to assist my mom. And I had to go out at 2:30. Then she was like, okay, then sure, no problem. So, during the night when I reached where I was supposed to go, I sent her a text, but I noticed the text never gone through. Like he sent, but it just had the one check mark. So I said, well, she phone probably dead or something, so she will give me a call back or something like that. To be honest, I didn't really check the time. I did send a text, but I have it in my phone.
So now, the following day, when you wake up and you say that still no reply, what were some of the things going through your head after you haven't heard from her in a long time?
Well, now, I know Imari as a person, she would have called me back, or would have text back. So I say, why is she not call her text? So I try to call multiple times and her phone start go to voicemail. So I texted the brother and I asked her where Imari there. Then he be like, she not at home, she not answer none of that either.
From all accounts, Galvez is described as a jovial soul who would inform friends and family about her location when she was out. Her killing has left more questions than answers, and finding out the motive for her murder and who committed the crime is what keeps her friends and family going.
Me, myself, question this person as why you have the heart to do such a happy person, a joyful person, and the thing is, Imari was a friendly person, and she don't like people, but she wasn't mean as well. She always, even if she don't know how you talk to her, she wouldn't be mean or, chase you or anything like that. So even me ask myself why it hurt, but why you want to do it? To be honest, sure may tell me like couple times about one person, and I want to call name, but one person, where she just like, go off up with she sometimes and things like that. But besides that, she never tell me nothing in depth that, they would harass her or something like that. People always got certain things to say, and to be honest, Imari don't open her business to nobody but we and her ma. So people will always got things to say, and Imari don't know a social person, so that way they say, well, I might be wrong, I don't know who you tell it to, but as her friend, I know Imari as a person, she rather keep things to herself for the same reason she don't like people, in a business or stuff like that. That's the reason she kept to herself most of the time too.
Until news time, Woodrow West and Kareem James, better known as Pumpkin, has been detained. Cabinet has given the green light to propose amendments to the Lotteries Act, opening up the possibility of a government-owned lottery company. The news came during the Cabinet's latest discussion on the formation of the Belize Government Lotteries Limited, a significant development that could see the government selling lotteries across the nation. These proposed changes represent a major overhaul of the current lottery system and are set to be introduced during the next sitting of the House of Representatives, scheduled for tomorrow, May 19, 2023. If passed, this legislation would allow the Belize Government Lotteries Limited to take control of nationwide lottery operations. This move could potentially enhance governmental oversight, increase transparency, and provide an additional revenue stream for the country. While further details about the proposed amendments are still to be released, the decision to move forward signifies the Cabinet's commitment to progressive changes within the nation's lottery system. The establishment of a government-owned lotteries company is a move that will undoubtedly shape the future of gambling in Belize. Here's what the Prime Minister told the media the last time he spoke about the issue when questioned about the resumption of the Bolido and lottery draw.
As you know, we went through a lengthy process with the Brad's company. Whatever name they have, they can constantly change names. And I think it's deliberate to confuse people as to who the real owners are. And maybe you need to ask the former Prime Minister, who is the real owner? Because I'm sure he knows who is the real owner. I believe, let me put it this way, I believe he knows who the real owner is. And if he doesn't, then he needs to be held for being irresponsible. That's another matter. Most importantly, we had to go through a lengthy process with them to give them an opportunity to be able to correct the areas that they were not complying in the agreement. If we had before then started to go through the process of setting up the Bolido and doing everything, I am certain that Mr. Barrow would jump on that and said that we had already decided to cancel it even before it was cancelled. So we could not do anything. Our hands were tied. We were giving them an opportunity. They failed to comply, and in the interest of our citizens, we cancel it. Now we're in the process of setting up a company. We're going to register a company that's going to be owned by the government of Belize. And as I said, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. All we need to do is to look at how the telecoms have been selling talk time. So instead of government having to hire hundreds of sellers, we're looking at probably maybe 4 or 5 major sellers, and then they get their sellers, and they take care of paying people who win and whatever. The idea is that then the company is going to set up a server, looking at probably doing it electronically and on paper, through electronic means. And by doing that, then we would be able to control every single sale. We know which seller sold, how much is sold, what has to be paid out. And if a citizen feel that they have been taken advantage of, they can come to the company and say, well, here's my ticket, or here's on my phone that I bought. We could look it up and say whether that sale was made. I explain all of this just to point out that we are now working in setting it up. And once we reach the point to make the announcement, we are going to make an announcement. There's nothing to hide, but we could not act until after that decision was made.
We will bring you the details of the legislation as the House sitting takes place tomorrow. A group of Mexican business persons from the Quintana Roo area hosted the first Belmex Business Conference in Belize City. Similar to previous joint Mexico-Belize trade summits in the past, today's event was aimed at bringing business people from both countries together to discuss ways of marketing products and services that they offer in their respective countries. Ambassador of Mexico to Belize, Her Excellency Imari Galvez, highlighted the importance of today's event for future business trade between both countries.
Para acercar a México y Belice, México, a través de esta ronda de inversiones que está promoviendo el estado de Quintana Roo. Yo creo que es un buen momento para promover inversiones que le van a convenir a ambos países. Así que yo estoy viendo una convocatoria muy interesante de muchos empresarios. Están aquí presentes empresarios que vienen de Chetumal, de Cancún, del estado vecino de Quintana Roo, pero están aquí también empresarios beliceños que están interesados en escuchar qué es lo que pueden hacer con su contraparte.
President of Entrepreneurs for Quintana Roo, Sergio Leon Cervantes, explained what types of business they have to offer Belize.
We make this first conference for have meetings one-to-one, businessmen from Belize with businessmen to Quintana Roo is very important for Mexico, and for the businessman in Quintana Roo knows about the Belize. Belize all the time is more big, more important, have infrastructure. The last year close with 8 million of visitors from different countries, and in Quintana Roo is so very important see this growing in your country, and investment in Belize not only for development of hotels or restaurants, investment about the industry, about the maquila, about the transformation, and we have the opportunity for make good business and make to a brotherhood with Belize and Quintana Roo.
One of the concerns which Mexican businesses are looking into, according to Cervantes, is the increasing bottlenecks being imposed on Belizeans wishing to travel to Quintana Roo and how it can be addressed.
We need work in both sides, not only for the investment, not only for this part. This is very important. The work, the government of Quintana Roo and Mexico and the government of Belize for make a transit not only for the merchandising, for the people, for migration, for customs, more easy for both countries, and make the promotion from all the wonderful things in Belize. For example, Plasencia, San Pedro, Cape Chapel, Cape Cocal. Do you have many wonderful places, and make the promotion in Quintana Roo for the people from Quintana Roo. Come to Belize, enjoy the sea, enjoy the mountain. Do you have rivers? It's so amazing, and it's important promotion the Quintana Roo places with transit safe, transit easy, and transit cheap for more people from Belize. Visit Quintana Roo, but not only Chetumal, Bacalar, Mahahual, Tulum, Isla Mujeres, Holbox. If in Quintana Roo we work with good offer, opportunities, and safe transit, I know many people from Belize visit Quintana Roo, and it's very important promotion Belize for the Quintana Roo people.
Now that COVID-19 is behind us, the hope is that commercial trade between both countries can resume, especially for Mexican businesses who see potential in the Belizean market, which forms part of the CARICOM single market.
Especially after COVID, we look to increase the commercial trade with Belize and to collaborate to find another markets to can impulse the economic development. When Belize has a trade treatment with all the CARICOM countries and islands, so it's very interesting and attractive to Mexican business people to make business here in Belize to gain access to all these markets of the CARICOM.
Other areas that must be looked at, according to the ambassador, is ways to make travel easier for visitors.
Cuando yo llegué a Belice, me entero que había habido un vuelo muy bueno, que había sido un vuelo de prueba, me parece que había durado algo así como 9 meses y tuvo una enorme demanda. Todo el mundo quería estar en ese vuelo, ¿no? Entonces, de pronto me entero de que ya no hay. Y digo, bueno, es que es un vuelo que se necesita. O sea, hay demanda de los dos lados, de nuestros dos países, ¿no? Incluso le hablé a Aeroméxico y les dije, desde la Embajada de México en Belice, nosotros vemos que hay mucho interés por los dos lados de nuestros países de poder tener una aerolínea que tenga ese vuelo y que realmente le solucionaba muchas cosas a mucha gente. Y no eran solamente viajes de turismo, eran viajes de negocios también, de todo tipo de viajes de recreación, etcétera, ¿no? Y pues Aeroméxico dijo, no es momento, estaba todavía lo de la pandemia, de hecho por eso no pudo regresar. Y yo creo que sería importante, aprovechando esta ronda de inversiones, volver a retomar el tema, porque la conectividad es importante y sí deberíamos de tener ese vuelo directo entre nuestros dos países. Yo creo que sería una gran oportunidad y que si otras empresas o varios empresarios lo promueven, a lo mejor sería posible.
Coming up next, $1 million in fertilizer subsidy for members of the BSCFA. We'll tell you what the leaders of the association think about the move. Stay tuned.
Sign up for Smart Share Plan and save big. Whether you're a small entrepreneur starting up your business, a student on a limited budget, or a family trying to save, this is the plan for you. With unlimited SMS, calls and data, we help you save. Get up to 5 lines for as low as $30 per line monthly, only with Smart. Sign up today at any Smart showroom or sales manager countrywide. So get your business going, share more memories with friends, and be ready for the day with Smart.
Come on!
When hungry or craving, when laughter or tears, enjoy the best snacking or flavors are here. Asadas, mocadas, chiladas, doradas, delicious for snacking, done right and done here.
Done right, done here.
The Orange Walk District Festival of Arts got underway yesterday with over 13 schools performing in dance, drama, and song at the Crystal Palace. Today, high school students got the opportunity to perform in the same categories. Though gifted with varied skills, the performers told us today it takes dedication and hard work to take center stage and give the best performance of your life. Elmer Cornejo has that story.
Day 2 of the Orange Walk District Festival of Arts took place today, and it featured its high school edition. It all kick-started at 9 this morning at the Crystal Palace as 3 adjudicators meticulously studied each performance, given the specific criteria.
I don't envy the adjudicators. The adjudicators, as you know, are the judges who have to decide which of these items will actually go to the Bliss to represent the Orange Walk District. We had 8 items. I think of that, we'll have 4 or 5 that can actually go to the Bliss and represent, but I think that the caliber was very high. I think that items were very good. I mean, you guys were here and you enjoyed it. The only thing I continue to say that when it comes to the High School Festival of Arts, we don't get the participation, we don't get the support from the parents. I mean, you could count the parents who are here today, you know. At the preschool level, at the primary school level, we see that, you know, the parents are in full support. Yesterday, you couldn't even find parking here because it was so crowded, you know, and today we don't have that. But I really want to applaud the high schools that where the principals came, vice principals came, you know, that at least we have the support from the administration coming to the festival.
While not all high schools participated this year, the ministry is satisfied with the outcome and will be looking into what other avenues can be undertaken to improve participation.
The various categories would be drama, dance, and music, right? If you notice, we didn't have any drama today, right? So it was mainly music, if you notice, and I think we had 1 dance item from 1 high school. So definitely I want to encourage the high schools. We want to see all 3 genres because we know that we have talented high schoolers. I know that the timing is not the best, I think, because a lot of students are already preparing for exams. We have CXCs happening also. But and this is where we can encourage the coaches from the high schools to start to prepare the students from very early on.
Is it something that the ministry is going to maybe look into so that instead of having it at the end of the school year, it begins maybe somewhere between September and December?
I think for the high school festival, we have to rethink when exactly we can have the high school festival. Perhaps earlier in the year we would get better participation, but the items that we saw today, I think they were really good, very high caliber, and I look forward to these items going to the Bliss. When we talk about giving a child a well-rounded education, it's not just the academics, you know. There is that creative side, and I am sure that you have children here, students here who might be shy in class, but when they go on the stage and perform, it's like they become a different person. So we want to hone that, we want to encourage that in all the young people in all the different genres, you know. So this is where we need the support from the parents to start with, because the parents have to give the permission for their children to participate. The school, we need, you know, regrettably one of our high schools did not participate. You know, I mean, I really think that all high schools should have participated. We don't have that many in Orange Walk. But definitely we need the support of the parents, we need the support of the teachers, the administration, and that's why I was very happy to see a principal here, a vice principal present at, you know, and actually encouraging the students here at the festival.
Today's Festival of Arts saw the participation of 8 liner items from Muffles College, New Hope High School, Belize High School of Agriculture, and the Orange Walk Technical High School, who featured various forms of creative arts. While each presentation gave participants an opportunity to showcase their talent, reaching to the end product took hard work and dedication.
I chose this song because I know that my parents enjoy that song a lot when they heard it for the first time. And it was kind of hard to choose a song because they only gave us a week. And I was searching through songs, and then I was I remember this song, so I just put it. And my dad was that's the song. So we just started practicing, and then this is the song I chose. So.
How do you think that you did today?
Hopefully not bad. I think I was okay.
I've always been a person who wants to strive for the better, and I believe that song challenged me in ways that I can reach.
Why is that the only art that you do, singing?
I believe so, but I'm also a big sports person, and I believe that's art too.
And what would you tell those who did not come today to participate at the Festival of Art?
Well, just do it. You only live once, and I think that one life that you get should be the greatest thing that you do.
If you had to do your presentation again, what different would you do?
I think I always think that I can do better in any presentation that I do. Maybe practice more or show more expression, because that's how people reach the song.
When we sing, we feel to inspire others to feel the motivation, what it is to singing, because we feel that music is something that inspires. Music is something that gives peace, passion, and that's what we feel, so we try to share our vibes to other people. So yeah, when we started singing, it was first difficult because we were shy, what if it doesn't come out good? But all of us started thinking, we are going to make it, we're going to have a positive mind, and nobody's going to change it. So what we are here doing today is we are going to inspire people. Maybe we will not win, or maybe yes, but what our goal today is to inspire others and notice that music is something very important in life.
Two presentations that captured attention was a solo and a dance featuring the Mexican mariachi genre.
Since I was little, I used to go to church and I used to see the drummer, and every time he plays it feels different. So I tried playing drum, and that's how I got here.
How long you've been doing this?
4 years.
4 years. And now that you came here, you were the only one who actually did that skill and did that drumming. If you had to do it again, what would you do different?
My beats, I would change it to more metal beats. I felt it was too basic, but I could change it. I could probably do something better,
And do you do other skills? Do you do other art?
No, but I can play the piano.
First we started, we didn't take long to learn the steps and all of that, so we learned it pretty fast. So we had more time to do the moves and the steps good.
How many days did you practice, or did you practice only once an hour? I mean, one hour per day, or how did you do that?
We took 30 to 40 minutes every three times a week, 30 to 40 minutes.
When you're doing a dance, you are all supposed to be in sync. Did you think that happened with your group?
But I think then there are little mistakes and all of that, but we could connect to each other good. So.
Elmer Cornejo, Ctv3 News.
The Festival of Arts falls under the umbrella of the Ministry of Education, Culture, Science and Technology with the aim of promoting the creative arts industry. As we told you at the top of the newscast, on May 17, 2023, the Cabinet met at its regular session, and among the issues discussed was inflation and the rising cost of living. The Cabinet has requested that the Minister of Agriculture convenes a meeting with importers and suppliers to discuss ways to reduce the cost of major food items as well as inputs used to produce locally made food products. In addition, the Minister of Agriculture was advised to propose recommendations to reduce the cost of living for Cabinet's consideration. Keeping in line with the agriculture sector, after a full discussion on the sugar industry and the revelation that for 2 years the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association, BSCFA, had not benefited from premiums derived from fair trade amounting to approximately $3 million, Cabinet approved $1 million Belize in subsidies for the association to be used for fertilizer to improve crop yield. Today we spoke to the chairman of the BSCFA Committee of Management, Alfredo Ortega, who told us how the fertilizer subsidy will benefit members of his association.
La BSCF no han conseguido nada de fertilizante por el pasado año y medio. Y esto pues realmente viene a dar un apoyo al cañero. Claro, no cubre la necesidad completa, ¿verdad? Pero por lo menos es algo antes que nada. Entonces nosotros estamos muy agradecidos como BSCF que el ministro de Agricultura pues está realmente laborando fuertemente para los cañeros. Y en este caso, pues él está viendo la situación en que BSCF se encuentra y entonces para que haya un poco de equidad en que los cañeros por lo menos puedan tener algo para echarle a sus plantas, pues ha logrado él conseguir ese $1 millón, de la cual nosotros en la BSCF estamos muy agradecidos de parte de él y del gobierno, porque si no hubiera el apoyo de los otros ministros, pues esto no iba a poder suceder. Quisiera pedirle a los cañeros que lleguen a la junta del domingo. Realmente es muy importante para ellos conseguir la información directa de parte de su liderazgo. Y así también demostrarle que somos un cuerpo unido y estamos trabajando para el bienestar de cada quien.
And in one last piece of cabinet news, last month, Prime Minister John Briceño signed the statutory instrument removing taxes from sanitary products. During cabinet session this week, cabinet requested that the financial secretary instruct the Belize Tax Services Limited to check into businesses that continue to charge tax on feminine products. The government of Belize reminds that these products became GST exempt effective the 1st of April, with a grace period of 1 month for products that were already in stock to be depleted. Belize is the second country in the region to eliminate taxes on women's sanitary products. Applicants are being called to the Nettie Johnson Memorial Scholarship, which is available for one student who will be transitioning into high school in the next school year. The Nettie Johnson Memorial Scholarship was established back in 2021 following the passing of former educator, politician, and beloved Orange Wacania, Miss Nettie Inez Johnson. The scholarship fund was created by Miss Nettie's children as a form of honoring her memory as a dedicated educator who believed greatly in the importance of education as well as community development and service. The scholarship provides financial assistance to successful applicants for the duration of their high school journey. As the fund now transitions into its third year of existence, the hope is to assist another deserving student from the Orange Walk community.
We have opened up the applications for Nettie Johnson Scholarship. This is our third year. We're looking for students that are entering secondary school for the first time at the first farm level. Okay, so we're looking for students who are going to be 15 throughout the end of this year. So you cannot complete 16 before December. So after January, then it's okay. We need for the students to write in an application and a letter, a 350-word essay. Basically, we want to know who the student is, why they need the scholarship, what is it that they'd like to do with their life, why is this scholarship important to them. Very simple, very basic. We've received letters in the past, and there have been very little information in there for us to be able to understand who the student is. In the two recipients from previous years, we were able to really, from the letter, really put ourselves in the shoes of those students, understand why is it that they want to go to high school, and that's what we're looking for. Take your time, students. Tell us who you are, what you want to do. Let us know a little bit more of yourself, and I think that's going to be enough for us to be able to now select the best candidate. We also want you to submit your acceptance letter, acceptance letter, and let us know a little bit about your financial conditions. I know it's very difficult to present something to document that you're in financial need, but if you can put it in black and white, tell us a little bit about why is it that you need a financial assistant, and that will go a long way in terms of making us be able to better select the recipient for this year's scholarship.
This year, the hope is to extend the assistance offered to its recipients to include other necessities such as food and travel allowance, allowing recipients a better opportunity to succeed in their educational career.
This year, we are actually going to be improving some of the benefits from the scholarship, and so we're going to be assisting them with some additional school supplies in addition to the $1,000 that they receive towards their assistance. They're going to be getting school supplies, and there's the potential for assisting them with additional school expenses, whether it's transportation or probably meal allowances, things of that sort. We want to help students. We've seen whereby some of these conditions whereby transportation is an issue, where meals is an issue, that might hinder the students' development in school, and so we are looking at an opportunity to see where we can assist. This scholarship is being funded by the children of Mrs. Nettie Johnson. They're all living in the U.S. They visit Belize from time to time. And we have a small committee here in Orange Walk, two Orange Walkenians, who serve as a selecting committee and who also are in charge of keeping in touch with the students on a year basis.
The scholarship fund is currently sponsoring two students, Yareli Chan, who is attending Muffles High School, and Amy Stacy Zul, who attends Adventist High School in Corozal. Both students, according to MAS, are demonstrating excellence in their studies.
This one, we're trying to keep in touch with the students throughout the year. We have two students, one that's going to Muffles, the other one is going to Adventist College in Corozal. We know both of them are doing great. They're keeping up their grades, and wherever possible, we try to assist to ensure that they're keeping up their grades. If they're having challenges at certain levels, somebody from our team approaches them and see how best we can assist. We want to ensure that the students is also giving back to the community, and as one of the requirements for receiving the scholarship is that you do some community service. And so we're seeing where these students are developing this sense of community service. And this is one of the things that Ms. Nettie Johnson loved to do a lot, community service. She was so involved in our community, and we want to continue promoting that sense of being part of our community. The students, as I said, they're doing well, and that's what we want to do. We want to be able to provide these students with an opportunity to excel in life.
Applications for the Nettie Johnson Scholarship can be submitted via email to tonygym@hotmail.com by Friday, June 3rd, 2023. The Ministry of Sustainable Development, Climate Change, and Disaster Risk Management, in partnership with the Caribbean Community Climate Change Center, 5Cs that is, with support from the British High Commission in Belize, today hosted a national dialogue on the outcomes of the COP27 and outlook for COP28. The event was funded through the UK's Climate Diplomacy Fund. The national dialogue brought together critical stakeholders to talk about the role and importance of the COP27 decisions and outcomes, including the work of the Transitional Committee established to design the Fund for Loss and Damage, which was highlighted in COP27.
Essentially, what we're trying to do is to have a space where we communicate some of the major outcomes of COP27 and then get feedback in terms of what is going to be the focus of the negotiations as we go into COP28. So as you know, there were some key things that came out of COP27 in terms of the global negotiations, as well as for Belize. So on the global level, certainly one of the big things that we know is the establishment of a loss and damage fund, or the agreement to the establishment of a loss and damage fund. How that fund would look, how we design the institutional infrastructure is yet to be developed. There's been some incremental progress as it relates to climate finance and commitment to the type of financing that is needed to support. In terms of emission reductions, there's also some small incremental progress that we achieved as part of the global negotiations. Slow, but not enough in terms of meeting the 1.5 degrees reduction that we need, or keeping to the 1.5. Nationally, as part of the negotiation and engagement in the margins of COP, we were successful in negotiating the establishment of a regional center in Belize with the Initiative for Climate Action Transparency, ICAT. And so that ICAT regional center being established at the Ministry of Sustainable Development will help us to improve the monitoring, reporting, and verification system as it relates to our communications for the Paris Agreement. So those were some large national success. We also negotiated or established a research agenda with the National University of Singapore, which we continue to elaborate to again support the monitoring, the reporting, the verification.
Additional objectives of the discussions, according to CEO in the Ministry of Sustainable Development, Kenrick Williams, was to discuss COP28 roadmap, including inputs from stakeholders on key national climate change priorities for potential inclusion into negotiation priorities for COP28.
Two things. One, I think it is important that we continue to be part of this global negotiations for the same reason. We are a net sequester of carbon. We don't have significant emissions. There's key sectors that we want to improve our emissions because as part of the global contributions, we want to make sure that we meet the commitment that Belize made. But we have to be part of the global negotiations to talk about how this thing impact the man on the ground in my country, right? I like to say that if you're not at the table, then you're on the menu. But, you know, we're feeling the impacts, and we have to be part of the negotiation to say this is the impact of climate change on the farmer. This is the impact of climate change on a coastal community like Mango Creek, like Monkey River, sorry. And that is what we try to do as part of this global negotiation. So we have to be part of it. We have to maintain the engagement. Secondly, and the investment that we need, the investment to address the issues of mitigation. The case of Monkey River, for example, is a costly venture. And that is only one example. As this climate change thing increases, then we're going to see that type of impact manifest. Look at the wildfires that we had last week. That's a reflection of the changing climate. So we need the type of money, the type of investments to address mitigation and to address adaptation. And part of the global negotiations is just that. Now, on the ground, what we need to do, again, is to continue to build the adaptation investment. We need to address the vulnerability of Belize City, for example, below sea level. You saw the impacts of the hurricane last year, particularly in Belize City. So we need, again, as a government, the type of resources to build climate resilient infrastructure, because you can't very well move people out of Belize City and move them to Belmopan.
Among the main priorities is to ensure that Belize is able to secure international funding to continue with sustainability efforts across the country.
Indeed, we're all competing for the same resources. And as you rightly said, you know, things like the war in Ukraine is getting the type of investments that would otherwise go to things like climate change and the financing that we need to address the impacts of climate change. Again, we have to make a strong voice as a country, as Belize, as CARICOM, as OASIS, which are the negotiating blocks and institutions, frameworks under which we negotiate. In those processes, we have to communicate what are the real impacts on the ground to be able to ensure that the developed countries put the type of financing behind it.
But how do we make Belize stand out? We're not the only country who needs this assistance. How do we convince them to help us and not one of the Pacific islands who may disappear soon?
Yeah, that is true. We have to continue to highlight in the spaces that we have, the national dialogue, the speeches that we have. We have to make sure at the highest level that we have representation at the COP, no? So it is in those processes we hope to echo and demonstrate the work that Belize is doing in terms of its emission reductions. If it is that, you know, the countries not invest in that, and invest in protecting these resources, what are the implications, not just for Belize, but the implications for the globe, right? The implications for the region. So that is what we're trying to communicate. The benefits of our conservation efforts is not just for Belize, it's a global benefit to it. And so that is the position, the leveraging position that we intend to use in these negotiations.
Today's dialogue comes in advance of the National Climate Week scheduled for end of June, in which youth, women, and indigenous peoples will be further sensitized on the crucial connection between climate change, meteorological predictions, and disaster preparedness, and on climate change efforts. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Friday, May 19th, here on Ctv3 and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/ctv3belizenews or our YouTube channel at ctv3newsbz. Remember to wash your hands and remain safe. From all of us here at Ctv3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.